At this very moment, more than 200,000 people are working for a single criminal organization. Most of them have never fired a gun. Look around. Thousands of ordinary houses, children riding bicycles, parents leaving for work, neighbors saying good morning. Everything looks completely normal. But hidden somewhere on one of these streets is someone you'll never notice. Someone carrying a simple backpack. Someone nobody suspects. That person is you. Police sirens echo in the distance. A helicopter circles overhead. Cash is scattered across the pavement. A backpack lies abandoned in the middle of the sidewalk. Nobody dares to touch it, because nobody becomes a cartel kingpin overnight. It happens slowly. One decision, one delivery, one lie, one step at a time. This is every level of a cartel member. Level 1, the runner. You are 15 years old, living in a neighborhood where the economy died before you were born. You don't have a resume, and you don't have options. One afternoon, a guy on the corner offers you $200 to carry a backpack across town. You don't ask what's in it, because you already know. You deliver it to a house with bars on the windows, handing it to a man you've never seen, and walk home with more money than your mother makes in 2 days. Within a month, you're given a prepaid phone that rings at odd hours. A voice tells you where to go and what to carry. You're a runner, the lowest level of an economy that moves billions of dollars across cities and continents. You're paid 600 pesos a week, telling yourself it is only temporary, but you're already part of something most people only see on the news. Level 2, the Stash House Guard. You are 18. You don't stand on the street anymore. You manage a stash house in a building where nobody asks questions. Inside the apartment is product, cash, packaging materials, and a safe bolted to the floor. Your job is inventory, weighing what comes in and making sure the numbers match. You sleep in the apartment 3 nights a week with a handgun under your mattress, watching the hallway cameras on your phone the way a security guard watches a bank vault. You stand outside a corrugated metal door for 10 hours at a time without knowing exactly what is stored behind it, because asking is not part of the job. You are responsible for product worth up to $100,000 at any given time, eating fast food alone in a quiet room surrounded by more cash than your family has earned in a decade. Level 3, the transporter. You are 21. You are no longer static. You move the product. You are driven 40 minutes into the foothills of the Sierra Madre and taught to drive fast on unpaved mountain roads. You operate within 3 trucking networks, moving product through the Sonoran corridor into Arizona, utilizing military contacts who provide advanced notice on checkpoint rotations. You learn the physical geography of the trade, driving routes toward the Otay Mesa
We will take
and
this
San
route
Isidro
through the ridge.
crossings. Your
It is our
vehicle
best
is
shot.
registered to a legitimate-sounding Sonoran agricultural holding company. You learn that the practice you need most isn't violence, but silence. The practice capacity to continue as if certain things did not happen. Level 4, the route manager. You are 25.
Initiate
There is
phase
no
2
ceremony.
immediately.
A regional commander pulls you into a back room at a ranch and transfers liability to you. You now manage 6 men, overseeing safe house rotations, vehicle maintenance, and communication security. You sleep in 4-hour intervals. You are the connection between the wholesaler and the street, receiving bulk shipments in parking lots and storage units to break down into smaller quantities. You learn quickly that leadership here is not about being the most feared combatant. It is about being the most consistently accountable person in the chain. When a worker is reckless, you transfer him. You write the report, and you don't track what happens to him afterward. Level 5, the washer. You are 30. You realize that the most important skill in the shadow economy isn't moving product, it's washing money. Any corner
Time to
boy
clean
can
some
sell,
cash.
but making the cash look legitimate
Sparkling
separates
clean
the
results.
amateurs from the professionals. You route payment flows through Casas de Cambio, currency exchange houses along the northern border, utilizing a money laundering method cartel operatives have used since the 1990s. You learn about structuring deposits under $10,000 and paying people to make deposits for you. You invest in a legitimate front, a refrigerated trucking company registered in your cousin's name, and a piece of a laundromat. You hire a real attorney who charges $400 an hour and refers to your crimes strictly as a consulting business. Level 6. The Operador. You are 35. You no longer manage streets or armed men. You manage systems. You are the connective tissue, invisible, essential, and impossible to rebuild quickly when it fails. You coordinate the logistics that make the syndicate a functioning transnational business, sitting between local plaza operations and regional command. Your neighbors in your gated community know you as an import-export consultant, and your business cards confirm it. But this role carries a specific, terrifying danger. You hold more information than almost anyone below the leadership tier. You know the schedules, routes, names, and vulnerabilities across multiple networks.
No,
the exact
faster!
Same knowledge
Come on,
that makes
destroy
you
it all!
valuable makes you catastrophic
Come on, destroy it
if
all!
compromised. Level 7, the Wholesaler. You are 40. You don't touch the product anymore, and you haven't in years. You buy in quantities measured in kilograms and sell in pounds and ounces, pulling product from international sources. You coordinate with chemical suppliers in China for precursors, adapting as synthetic markets shift. You operate within an institutional architecture that traces back to the 1980s. You have legitimate businesses now, a real estate portfolio, and a construction company, employing people who have no idea the startup capital came from a field in another country. You pay taxes on every dollar that flows through your legitimate fronts because you have learned to fear the government more than you fear any rival on the street.
Right now.
Level 8, the Capo Regional. You are 45. You oversee 7 plazas across 3 states, controlling sections of the corridor running towards Ciudad Juarez and the El Paso border crossing, one of the highest volume land ports of entry into the United States. You no longer receive orders. You receive parameters. You divide your time between a mountain ranch and an apartment registered under a third party, traveling without a fixed schedule and rotating your security convoy daily to avoid establishing patterns. The DEA maintains a classified file on you with an operational code name. It is the only piece of information about yourself you cannot access, and it occupies your mind most consistently between 2 and 4 in the morning. Level 9, the Kingpin. You are 55. You control a network that spans a region from a southern border to a distribution hub 1,000 miles north. You are the person law enforcement builds task forces to find, but you do not exist in any way that connects to the operation. You communicate strictly through layers of intermediaries and have not personally given an order to anyone in the supply chain in over 5 years.
The security protocols have been
does
breached.
not operate
Deploy
as
the
a
countermeasures
rigid vertical
now.
hierarchy. It functions as a loose confederation of semi-autonomous factions. You maintain properties under 6 verified identities across 5 countries, managed by a former government document specialist. You sleep well most nights, and the fact that you do, given what your hands have authorized across 3 decades, is the thing that disturbs you more than anything else. Level 10, the Ghost. You are 62. You transferred operations to a successor years ago and moved to a country with warm weather and no active extradition treaty. You live in a house behind a wall, watching camera feeds on a monitor in your bedroom, the way you used to watch the street. But you are never truly free. Every time your phone buzzes with a news alert about an indictment, your chest tightens as you run the math on who could still name you. Somewhere right now, a 15-year-old kid is standing on a corner holding a backpack he didn't pack. He has no idea what this life will cost him, but he will figure it out. The cycle continues.